Hello, dear subscribers of my channel. Today I present to you a wonderful comedy called It's All Because of the Men. The film begins with a scene in a cafe, where a young guy Armand comes with his new girlfriend. They meet Nurzan there, who invites them to try steak, claiming that this place prepares it in the best possible way. It becomes clear to Nurzan that the girl is not just an acquaintance, but a new object of Armand's attention, and he calls his daughter. It turns out that Armand only met Nurzan's family yesterday. Armand quickly leaves the cafe, since Nurzan has great influence, and his people chased after the womanizer. In honor of their wedding anniversary, a young family man named Tur decided to please his wife Alina with a special gift. Hoping for his wife's enthusiastic reaction, he gave her a washing machine. However, Alina, waiting for the car, was disappointed. When Tur Sunbeck decided to pay for the delivery of the washing machine and give money for it, he discovered that his stash had disappeared. A scandal broke out, during which it turned out that Alina spent money on buying dresses. She believed that everything in their family was common, and therefore she decided that they family spent money on clothes that definitely suited them. The husband says that he will wear this dress tomorrow. Alina believes that the washing machine is a gift not to her, but to his underpants and socks, saying that even the husband of her friend Zarina gave 2 trips to Europe for their anniversary. The wife is offended that her husband always refuses her everything. Offended, she orders the washing machine to be removed and the trash to be taken out. Armand, running away from persistent pursuers and realizing that there were no other options to escape from them, he found shelter in the back of a dumpster. Thawing a little after running around, he decides to call his old friend Tur, whom he has not seen for a very long time. He hoped that Tors would agree to give him asylum. Armand dials the number and waits expectantly for a response from Tur. To his relief, Tur agrees and promptly warns his wife to prepare something for his hungry friend. However, Tur's offended wife, despite her husband's request, decides to remain adamant and sternly gives him only the number of the pizzeria, hinting that Zarina's husband and his friends meet in cafes. The Tur, while taking out the trash, meets Armand and is surprised at what he is doing in the back of the trash can. Armand, a little surprised by such an impudent discovery, admits with a hint of a smile that he simply wanted to take a little break from the hustle and bustle and enjoy the fresh air. Tur suggests going to the bar and says that Alina's friends came to their house to look at the new washing machine. When they stop a taxi and ask to be taken to the nearest bar, the cost of the trip turns out to be high, since the car is equipped with Japanese wheels, German pads, and a Korean navigator. Along the way, Tur was curious as to why he was hiding behind a trash can. When Tur found out the reason, he recommended calming down and getting married. Since everything was going well for him, he had a mortgage for 25 years. His wife bought a washing machine, and he started calling Alina, although in fact, he started talking to the dial tone when the phone picked up. Offended Alina answered rudely. Tur, without showing his wife rudeness, says goodbye to her gently. On the way, they see a woman's car stalled, and she turns to them asking them to push her. However, Tima states that he should have purchased a reliable car that can cope with headwinds. Tima decides to go around the traffic jam and drive in the opposite direction. However, while driving, they are stopped by the police because Tima's driver's license has expired. Tima expresses his dissatisfaction with the policeman, asking why on such a hot day he is not supposed to stay at home or relax, and not be engaged in service and stopping cars. In addition, Tim suggests that the policeman and the entire department go somewhere. The car is taken away. When the guys stop the taxi, the very same female taxi driver arrived, who they had not helped, but she decided to take them to their destination. During the journey, the guys began to discuss that all the troubles are connected with men. They deprive him of his rights, take away his cars, and create situations in which Armand needs to hide from his fathers. In addition, it is suggested that Alina constantly compares her husband with Zarina's husband. They wanted to get into a world where there are only women. On the way, a miracle comes true. The car arrives at its destination. When Tur and Armand enter the bar, they are greeted with shouts and delight, and the girls begin to treat them, with all expenses covered by the establishment. Armand wants to invite his friends, but does not find a single male number in his contact list. The Tur asks to put on men's football, But the girls laugh that there are only 3 men in our world, while 22 players are needed to play football. Then they realize that they are in a woman's world, that this is all true. This is the world of women, just the 3 of them, and 7 billion women. Armin immediately rejoices that they have gone to heaven. The woman taxi driver says that they are listed in the Red Book. And Timma's car is a cultural property. But they can't take a photo because they can't take a single piece of evidence from this world. Such rules, and they have 24 hours. Rejoicing, they leave. They are the only representatives of the male population who will receive the love and attention of all women in the world. What a success! Choose anyone. It is not forbidden to have several at once on the way. They meet a policewoman who stops them not to issue a ticket, but to kiss the man. Armin jokes that if they punish like this, then he is ready to break the rules all day. They are enjoying time at the bar with their girlfriends. All the girls treat them again. Suddenly, Armin takes a liking to the waitress, and he asks for her contact number, but she refuses, explaining that she doesn't want to meet someone at work and considers Armin arrogant. Armin raises his glass and wishes that women would never refuse him. A police girl appeared at the bar, but Tim stated that he did not know her. They want to leave, but suddenly they get a bill, which they get irritated with, because according to the rules, the man must pay the bill for all women. They decide not to pay, but suddenly all the women turn into men. A woman taxi driver explains that within 24 hours they must agree to any requests from women. Otherwise, all women will turn into men. And that they had one right to make a mistake, and they used it. The guys pay the bill and decide that they must disappear unnoticed until the morning. However, suddenly a police girl appears near Timma's car and asks Timma to take her around the city at night. Timma agrees. Winter wakes up in the morning. He finds his wife in the house, ready to cook him breakfast. This puts him in shock. He learns that she also intends to cook him dinner the way he likes and invite Armin to visit. Alina calls Armin on her own and invites him to visit. Armin wants to quietly walk down the street, but suddenly an elderly woman stops him and asks him to help him carry his bags. Timma decides to relax in the car and turns on the radio, where they announce a honey fair. Tim suddenly wonders whether it is necessary to fulfill the radio's requests. It turns out that it is necessary. He decides to go to the fair using the navigator. Tur enjoys breakfast, noticing the transformation of his wife, who offers him slippers, cleans up after him, and even fulfills all his requests, including being like a dog to him. During the journey, Tim breaks traffic rules, as a result of which a police car begins to chase him. After this, Tim reaches his destination, where a police girl meets him and takes him to the police station. From the park, he meets a waitress. The girl's name is Diana. Tur and Alina are in a cafe, where Tur is calculating the amount he will have to pay for all the girls. They soon find out that they have taken someone's table that was reserved a month ago, so they decide to leave the cafe. The girls in the park asked Armin to lower the kite from the tree, but when he took the kite down, it fell. Diana and Armin continued the conversation while sitting in a cafe, and their conversation did not stop. Armin remembered that he promised Alina to come for dinner and runs away. He promises to find her. Timma and the police girl arrive at the hotel instead of the police station. However, the girl had hidden plans. She wanted to spend close moments with Timma. To escape from this situation, Timma decides to set fire to the paper and call the fire alarm. Tur and his wife go to the park on bicycles together. Tur brings sausage rolls with him, and they reminisce about the past, about their first date. At this time, Armin calls, and Alina tells him to come to them another time. Armin meets the elderly woman again on the road, and they head to her house, at the woman's request. He gives her a massage when suddenly Diana comes to her. It turns out that she is the granddaughter of this elderly woman. The woman allows Diana to go for a walk, to which Armin asks to draw her a portrait of him. Together they go up to the roof, where Armin wants to explain to Diana that their meeting cannot last long, and that they will no longer be able to see each other, since they played according to the rules that are valid only for one day. He cannot refuse women anything. Diana is offended, realizing that everything was just a game, and leaves. The guys meet at the old place to return to their world. Tim realized that policemen are good, but Armin wants to take Diana with him, and they break the rules by stealing a taxi driver's car. They come to Diana and ask her to go with them, but Diana refuses. After returning to their world, the guys are faced with a girl asking for help because her car has stalled. The guys are happy to help. At this moment, everything changes. Armin strives to find Diana. Tur carries a bouquet to his wife, and Tim is glad to see a male policeman. The tour learns that Zarina's husband did not buy tickets to Europe, and also that he has not been able to afford a washing machine for 3 months. Tur and his wife decide to go to the park. While walking, Tur takes out the sausage rolls he had prepared in advance and gives his wife tickets to Paris. He also smiles and tells her about the possibility of purchasing a mop at the Louvre. Tim came to the impound lot to pick up his car. He reports that he renewed his license and paid all fines. At this moment, he meets a girl, from which he suddenly jumps in fright. However, the girl reacts in surprise and begins to praise the car. It turns out that she knows everything about this car, and her knowledge surprises Tim as well. Armin decides to join a painting course to complete Diana's portrait. However, when he gets there, he unexpectedly meets her and cannot hide his joy as he hugs her. They start dating. The film ends here.